Trevor Matich on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Trevor, how you doing, brother?
I am doing great. And Tanner, great to talk with you again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Trevor. Thanks for taking the time.
Trevor, let's talk about beating UCLA because you're a man who beat UCLA in 1983 in football. And the men's hoops team gets it done last night. That was a nice win for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's not every 40 years that we get to do this, but it's good. UCLA, listen, I've got a lot of respect for their school and their programs, and anytime you beat them, it just means a lot. We back in the day, everybody thought we were a passing team, but we ran for over 200 yards on those guys, much to their consternation and surprise. But we weren't surprised. But I tell you, beating UCLA at any time is a real thrill.
Absolutely. Let's transition to football. After 7 weeks away, Zach Wilson played against Idaho State and UMass. Idaho State, it felt like there was a little bit left to be desired there, but UMass, a tremendous performance against a really bad team, but he was nearly perfect. Do you feel like Zach is back?
I think he was back against UMass. I think that it's sort of a trajectory he's got to be on. You could tell that he was rusty against Idaho State. And Idaho State's not very good, but timing is timing, no matter who you're playing. And everything was a little better against UMass, but this will be not just a better opponent. This will be one of the best defenses, if not the best defense they faced really since Utah. This San Diego State defense isn't just really talented. They're also exceptionally well coached from a standpoint of messing with opposing quarterbacks. Rocky Long has been one of the best defensive minds in all of college football for decades. So this will be a real challenge, and we'll know if Zach's back when we see this game.
Well, you referenced it. San Diego State is a top 10 defense against the run, scoring, total defense. So in your opinion, how do the Cougars match up with the Aztecs this week?
Well, they match up probably better on offense than the San Diego State offense matches up against the Cougars defense. This really will be a low-scoring game because as good as San Diego State's defense is, the offense is really struggling. I mean, they don't run or pass very well. So BYU will need to win a low-scoring game. So really this one will come down to how can those guys on defense keep the score low enough. Now, the other part of it is avoiding mistakes and avoiding turnovers. I mean, Tanner, as a quarterback for so many years, the you have to understand the game you're playing.
Yep.
And the game that the BYU offense is playing this week is not a light up the scoreboard game. It is a don't make mistakes game. That's their first priority. Don't give San Diego State a short field with a dumb turnover. And so that's kind of the game that's shaping up, and the Cougars need to understand it in order to be able to win it.
Jake Oldroyd could be a big player in this game in terms of field position and field goals. Yet for field goals, it's been a struggle recently, Trevor. After starting 10 of 11, Jake has missed 6 of his last 10. Something's going on there. Do you think the kicking game will play a big role and Jake Oldroyd will have a big role in this game?
No, it'll be massive because it gets harder to move the ball down inside the 20 and punch it in, especially against defenses like San Diego State's, and so they're going to have to score from long range with those field goals. So Jake will have to he'll have to come up. The thing is, though, people have asked me, is that what's wrong with him? And I said nothing's wrong with him. He's a kicker. And kickers, kickers are their own kind of species sometimes. So this is the time for him to snap back into form.
Well, now, so BYU is looking to get win number 8. If BYU finishes this season with 9 wins, could they be ranked?
You know what? There's a possibility that they could. And that's really exciting because the way the season, started, it looked so promising. And then losing to Toledo and South Florida just kind of put the brakes on the excitement. And the possibility exists that they very well could finish the season ranked. But I still go back to the missed opportunities, for goodness sake. Those 2 games especially. Now, when you look at the rankings, the AP top 25 right now, BYU isn't listed there, and the lowest ranked team is USC at 8-4. But that's kind of good, because BYU has already beaten USC. And so there's a chance that they could finish ranked if they are able to win out.
So you brought it up. You mentioned that USC win. What do you think is the best win on BYU's schedule this season? Do you think it is USC?
Yeah, Tanner, I really do, because this was a USC team that came in after BYU had already played a couple of physical games the game against Utah has an NFL defensive line. I mean, it's not just NFL with the starters. They go deep. They've got NFL guys in depth. That's a physical game for BYU to play. And then Tennessee is a team now that's starting to round into form. I mean, when BYU played them, everybody thought Tennessee was no good, but now we're seeing Tennessee winning a bunch of SEC games, and that game went to overtime. So the fact that they started out with those two, then came back and USC went to overtime. And the fact that USC is now ranked, I mean, the committee sees them, and the AP sees them as one of the 25 best teams in the nation. I mean, for BYU to have beaten them in the third game of a stretch that was really brutal, I thought was a terrific victory.
We're talking with ESPN's Trevor Matich, former Cougar and contributor to BYU Sports Nation each week. We love to have him. Let's look back at the season a little bit. So I feel like we're starting to turn a corner, Trevor, where we are less grateful for the turnaround and we will become more upset that BYU lost to South Florida and Toledo. I want to get your opinion on that. BYU's 2-4. Man, is BYU going to renew Kalani? Will BYU even make a bowl game? Here we sit 5 games later, BYU 7-4, and we're thinking, you know what? Maybe it took losses to South Florida and Toledo to turn the season around. Yet I think when the season's over, we're going to go, oh, man, BYU lost an opportunity there. Why didn't they win those games?
Yeah, well, listen, I thought that all along. I mean, I thought losing those 2 games, I could just project it forward and see what the possibilities were there. Because, I mean, had BYU won those 2 games, they right now would be on a 7-game winning streak. As it is, they're on a 5-game winning streak.
And ranked, right?
But they'd be ranked, and who knows, but they might not be ranked high enough to be considered for a really big bowl game. And so there's a lot of things that were left on the table. Now there are still things that are left on the table. This San Diego State win, if they're able to get it, may be the best win of the season for them. Certainly second to USC. Well, and third to Tennessee. Those were good. It'll be one of their 3 best wins.
There we go.
Yeah. So let's just say it that way. I think rather than say best, it's better for me to say most difficult.
Better than Boise State.
This team is going to be really hard to move the ball on, and so there's football left to be played. But when you talk about looking at the totality of the season, you're totally right, and the fact that we're talking about it in these terms, I think means that in a lot of ways BYU has turned the corner. And the expectations are now much higher. And again, I look at the Toledo and South Florida losses, and I see them in a way that I think maybe other people might not. And certainly the team won't think what I'm about to say. If they do, I'd be disappointed. But the way I see those 2 losses are, BYU started out with Utah, at Tennessee, USC, and Washington, 4 brutally physical games. And then the next week, they go to Toledo, and the week after that, they go to, or 2 weeks after that, they go to South Florida. And so this is a real tough couple of games coming off of that physical stretch. And it does take a lot out of you, not just physically, but really emotionally, and your ability to process and focus with urgency and effort in your preparation during the week suffer when you go through a 4-game stretch like BYU did to open the season. Now, do you have to be able to fight through that? Yes, you do. But when you consider so many young guys that BYU is playing, it takes time to learn this stuff. And so I think that they missed an opportunity there. But the fact that we're now talking about a 5-game winning streak with a chance to finish the regular season on a 6-game winning streak against a very good team, I think BYU football is in a good position right now.
Trevor, shifting into the national scene now, LSU or Ohio State, who's the best team in the land?
On tape, it's Ohio State, Tanner. The LSU deserves to be number 1 because of their victories. I mean, they've beaten, a couple of top 5 teams, and then Auburn at number 15. And Ohio State hasn't had the opportunity to do that. They have the Penn State win, but really not a whole lot that'll compare to what LSU has been able to do. They've beaten Wisconsin and beat them bad. But the teams that LSU has beaten are higher ranked than Ohio State's. Okay, so LSU deserves the number 1 ranking from that standpoint. But on the field and a neutral side, I think the Buckeyes are the best team in the country. I think number 2 is Clemson. And I think number 3 is LSU, because I worry about LSU's defense, especially in recent weeks. Teams with pretty good offenses have been able to move the ball and score points against LSU's defense. And so I think that it's very important, the way things are setting up right now, which team between Ohio State and LSU the committee puts at number 1 to finish the regular season, because Clemson won't be that team. unless something really weird happens because of their strength of schedule. But they are rounding back into national championship caliber form, which they've done in recent years, where they've started slow and they've picked it up and done well at the end, and they've been a championship contender. Well, this Clemson team is doing the same thing, but because of the schedule has been weak in the ACC, they'll probably end up number 2 or 3, most likely 3. What that means is whoever's number 1 doesn't have to play Clemson in the first round of the playoffs. They'll play number 4. Whoever's number 2 has to face Clemson. And I'll tell you this: if it's Ohio State at number 2 and LSU at number 1, which it likely will be, then I think the semi between Ohio State and Clemson will be the actual national championship game.
This sounds juicy, and I'm thinking about Christmas and snow and football. This just sounds great. Trevor, we appreciate the time. We look forward to our conversations each week, and thanks for the insight.
Thanks, guys.
That's ESPN's Trevor Matich on the Desert.